Hey, it's Webs here, and it's time for a sinister build for Hearthstone Mercenaries using the new mercenary Sinestra as a way to actually have a powerful backline in a build that usually doesn't have one in the form of a shadow-based team. The basic idea for this build is actually pretty simple. You're using Vol'jin, Natalie, and Valeera as your starting up lineup, so you can actually have a way to do a bunch of damage to your opponent's lineup, and is actually a pretty good counter against the local R decks that are going around right now. And especially in this build, you hope to actually get the local R's actually dead before you put down the Sinestra, just because of the fact that this could actually hurt your Sinestra pretty quickly and kill it in one turn. But other than that, Sinestra is really unkillable given her two abilities and her equipment. As seen in the clip behind me, where we're just rotating between her last two abilities to nuke down our opponent's entire board, because doing 60 damage to all casters is quite insane. 30 damage is pretty good too against anything that isn't a caster, but if your opponent doesn't focus her down, which they're not probably going to do given the fact she is a new mercenary, you can actually just win the game by having her up. She does so much damage that there's no reason why to not try to include her. And if for some reason your opponent doesn't actually kill Vol'jin first in your starting up lineup, and you can actually put Sinestra down to scale her damage with Vol'jin, that's just another insane way you can actually scale her damage, though that doesn't usually come up at all whenever I was playing this build. The first mercenary on the team is Natalie. We're using the Splinter of Nordrassil as her equipment, as this will allow you to swap between the AoE damage and the AO heal, giving your team a bit more survivability early on in the game. And the reason why we're actually including her in the team over Tasman, as we do want some type of healer on the team just so we can actually survive long periods of time with the front lineup and then finish off our opponent with Sinestra and Alexstrasza. The second mercenary on the team is of course Vol'jin, using Ring of Haste. Makes all of our shadow abilities 3 faster, which is quite insane when paired with Valeera, thus allowing us to have 0 speed abilities for the first couple turns of the game, and is the way that you're going to chip away at your opponent, just because of the fact that there aren't many builds that are even faster than this one. So you're probably going to win the speed game when it comes to starting up lineup. The third mercenary we're using is Valeera, and when it comes to Hearthstone mercenary modes right now, one of the first two things I always ask myself is, can I fit Valeera in the opening up team, and can I easily trigger her? And if I can, I include her. So we're using her mainly for her, though it is a little bit awkward to actually keep her stealth in that case. And the reason why that one of the other equipments that I'm not using for Alexstrasza might actually be the better option. It just depends on how you want to actually build the team. The fourth mercenary I usually put down is Alexstrasza, though there are some weird scenarios where Sinestra might be better to put down before Alexstrasza. That just depends if Vol'jin is alive, but that usually doesn't happen, but it's worth mentioning anyways. The equipment that I'm using on her is Alexstrasza Roach. This is for two reasons. First, it's more healing, and second, it's more damage. If you're facing a fighter team, this is great to actually have, though I can see a scenario where you would want to use Amulet of Swiftness as the equipment instead, just because of the fact that this will allow you to easily trigger Valeera's equipment every single turn instead of having to rely on having Natalie still alive to trigger it, or having Sinestra down to also trigger the Valeera combo. The reason why I chose Alexstrasza as the second dragon in this team is just because of the fact that she can serve as both a healer to increase Sinestra's survivability or her own, and the fact that she has the strongest synergy between Sinestra and herself. Now for the reason why I actually want to do a shadow-based mercenary team again. Sinestra, who is a new mercenary whose last ability actually scales with shadow damage, but that's not really necessary in the use that we're using her in this build. We're using her for an absolute tank. It's the same idea of using Garrosh as a tank in a orc build. Between her mana barrier and twilight extinction, you can actually do an insane amount of damage while just sustaining her, where she doesn't actually take any damage, where your opponent either has to focus her down or they're just going to die between the amount of healing you can do between these two abilities. And because Sinestra does make whatever dragon you target 3 speed slower with her next ability, if you target herself, Twilight Extinction is going to be 8 But if Valeera is still alive, then it's still going to be 5, and that's still going to probably outspeed a lot of mercenary teams in the late game when you're actually using her. The equipment that I'm using for her is Mana Brooch. This allows you to restore even more HP than normal, and while it isn't fully upgraded, it is pretty good, along with the fact that you can reduce the damage she takes by 4 or at max level 5. Either way, it's still really powerful, and it makes her incredibly hard to actually kill. I can see cases where you might want to use Shard of Woe instead, but I don't like having the additional 1 cooldown, which is the reason why I didn't go with this over the Mana Brooch. Also, it's probably worth mentioning here, since she is a new mercenary, Mana Barrier and Twilight Extinction are more important to level up than Raking Swipe. Her 10 bleed is really strong, but I usually don't ever use it in this build. It is good for like a attack based dragon team that I'll eventually get to, but until then, don't worry about this. These 3 right here are what you're going to want to upgrade the most, or at least the quickest. And finally, the last mercenary on the team, just for the extra survivability, like always, Cookie. You're using him for appetizers. Now with that all being said, let's go find some games. Okay, we're going to put down our normal 3. And they're interesting that they're putting it down in that order. It doesn't really matter because we'll just focus down this. Malfurion will be dead no matter what. Then whatever mercenary they put down next, because if they put down a protector, will probably also be dead instantly. I mean, I could misplay a little bit and purposely try to go after Brucon, but I'd rather just focus down what I know works. Okay, they're making Vol'jin slower. Oh, that might be a little bit of an issue. This is 3. And we'll still do the AoE combo. Vol'jin isn't likely to survive past this turn anyways, especially with that up. I'm gonna do it like this. I think technically that's the better play. I don't like doing it like that, but I think that is technically the better play. Vol'jin's dead. We're gonna put down Alexstrasza next. We're gonna nuke Diablo out of existence. Then we're gonna also heal this, just so we can keep her stealthed. Oh, actually, kill it like this, and then we won't. We'll do the AoE. I'm not too afraid. I guess I could have actually done some damage. Alright, we're gonna do 3. Attack this. I think that should kill Brucon. Or not. It'll kill this, though. But we'll put Sinestra down. Because there's 2 protectors, I'm just gonna shotgun, yeah, we're gonna shotgun that. It's 14 damage, which means they're gonna be at 18. That's not enough to... Oh, we can do it. I never have actually used that ability, but I'd rather use it now, just so I don't have to deal with it. Slower. That's fine. Heal her up. Try to get that off.
Job's done.
And then we should be able to just use Cookie, AoE, heal, and use Cookie to kill Cairn, just so they don't get all the abilities off this turn. And we'll win here. Okay, so they're mainly casters, which is actually pretty good news for us. That does make me wonder if they're Frost. Given that setup, well, that is a mercenary I did not expect to ever see. Okay, what equipment? Additional attack, interesting. Well, we're going to focus down Varian. That's going to hit back. We're so lucky. Well, I guess they do have AoE. I'm fine with that, actually, kind of. Murloc. Interesting. Well, we're going to do this. I have a feeling she's dead no matter what here. Unless we heal. 10. Oh, you know what? Yeah, it's going to be dead no matter what. Even if I healed for a shit ton of... The world will never know, I guess. let's put Sinestra down because Vol'jin's weirdly alive and they're mainly casters. Now that's annoying. We're gonna do this, and we're gonna do this. I wish I had swapped the order of these two. And we're gonna break the shield, I guess. Let's take less damage. That's going to die. It's going to take some damage. Alexstrasza will do this. Heal that, I guess. I'm trying to think how much. Yeah, we'll do it like this. Vol'jin's going to be dead. I'm going to give Divine Shield to itself. Oh, never mind. Oh yeah, they did. That kills that. Put down Cookie. We'll AoE using Alexstrasza, I guess. We're gonna heal using this though. With that. Maybe I should have actually killed with this. Okay, they're giving them Divine Shield. We're healing this. Trying to do stuff with that. Okay. And then we'll just win. Okay, so... Oh, interesting, a balanced team. It's been a while since I've faced a completely balanced team. Oh, Frost. Well, I wish Local Lore was on the front line. We're gonna focus down Jaina. I know this won't kill Jaina right away, but if we can trigger the ice block on turn 1, we're actually in a really good position. I really do wish that Local Lore was out. I also want to get rid of as much frost scaling as I humanly can here. I know half of this is oh, that might actually make this slower. Guess I didn't think that one. Oh no, they're the same HP. That's kind of funny. Or not. Okay, so Local R is probably down next. We're going to use the AoE here. Try to nuke this out of existence. And we're not going to attack with her. But we might use the Fan of Knives, actually. I wonder if they're actually running Belinda or not in this build. I don't know how popular Belinda herself is, but I can see how she would fit into a build like this. But at the same time, I don't know if she's necessary. I do know that one of those is going to be Local R. Or not. I'm actually kind of shocked about that. We're going to try to heal. And we're going to use Fan of Knives. Actually, I want to use Fan of Knives here. Yeah, we'll do Fan of Knives. Killing the Jaina. Killing the Elemental. Killing everything. So Diablo is one of the final? Okay, Diablo's down. I think this lineup is going to be screwed here. The good thing is we do have Alexstrasza to focus down Diablo when we get the chance to. I would have preferred... Okay, so who's the last? I'm gonna do that, and then this is gonna die. I know she's gonna die, so it doesn't really matter. I would love to get the Diablo dead before anything else here, but I don't think that's going to be humanly possible. I know what the correct play for them to do next turn is, but are they actually going to do it? No, they actually aren't. Interesting. Okay, Cookie's going to snipe here. We're going to heal her. We're going to... Might have actually been better just to make sure Sinestra lived. But I think we should be perfectly fine, I hope. Okay, so they're gonna use that. That's fine. We're not actually doing any AoE this turn. That's going to be annoying, but it is fine. Oh yeah, I forgot about that AoE. Like Diablo out of existence, heal up. I'm assuming they're going to use Bear Trap to try to extend their life, but I don't think they can actually come back from this. Oh, well, we're gonna put down our normal 3. Alright, we're working with demons. Diablo in the start. Well, we're gonna kill it first. I know Lich King can be a little bit annoying, but if I don't get Diablo down quickly, then it should be... It would be able to snowball too quickly for me to leave it up. Oh, they're going for Tasman this time. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so Tasman's going to be dead. We're going to use Alexstrasza next. I actually should have put down Sinestra thinking about it. Ooh, that's not... well, that'll kill that. If I put Sinestra down, then I would have been able to actually scale the shadow damage in a few turns on Vol'jin. So the nice thing about putting Alexstrasza down 4th here is when he gets bigger, I can actually just use her gambit to kill him off. Yeah, we're going to do 10 damage there. That puts it down to... Let's do it like this. I don't normally like using anything besides her stealth ability, but this should kill that, and then hit this low. Though this is at 13, which means it's almost impossible to actually protect her. So Draxus and Manaroth, I think, are the last two. Yep, okay. Well, we'll AoE, try to kill this, and then we're gonna try and pray we can actually get this out. I doubt that this is going to happen, but you never know. Because I have a feeling they're going to prevent healing, which is fine. Oh, okay. They're going to reduce the attack. Oh, this is actually pretty good for us. The fact that they summoned something actually makes it where we can stealth instantly. We're going to use this again. We're going to just do that. And then that. The only thing we have to help for... Actually, no, they already used Fist, so they can't again. They are killing Alexstrasza, which is fine. But here we get Sinestra down. Gonna AoE, and then AoE, and try to do this. I don't think that's really necessary, but... Well, the funny thing here is, could just pass the turn back. Because this should die no matter what, which gets us the 25-25 out. And then we have 30 damage at the end of the turn. We're just going to win. Alright, now that we're through the games, let's discuss my final thoughts of the build. So overall, the build was actually quite strong. I know this is the beginning of the month, so I haven't been able to rank up that much yet. But I did easily climb up using this build. Honestly, it wasn't that hard to actually do with it. So it is pretty consistent in what it does, though the downside with this build in particular is depending on what the matchups actually are. Sinestra doesn't always come out, but usually when she does, you do win the game because most people don't know how to deal with her, at least the first time they're actually facing against her. If they learn how to actually deal with her, even then, if they're stubborn and stick with the same game plan as they had before, you can still win a lot of games just between Sinestra and Alexstrasza, though the starting up lineup is really powerful just because this allows you to chip away at their beginning mercenaries while also having a backup plan just in case. This was a build that I actually wanted to try out last week, I think, but I didn't have Sinestra leveled up at all, which is the reason why I didn't do it. And to be honest, the hardest part of figuring out what mercenaries to use in this build was the final mercenary, which was Alexstrasza. The other 5 mercenaries were something that I had already planned on using, but I saw this article on Reddit where they were actually using Alexstrasza as a secondary dragon, which made a lot of sense to me just because of the fact that Sinestra already is a very tanky unit. So whenever you combo her out with another tanky dragon, it would make a lot more sense than using Alexstrasza over something like Brightwing or Rathian. Though Rathian I could see fitting pretty well with her too, just because of the fact you could make Rathian even tankier. And that's another way that you could actually build a build, though that would rely more on fail damage, which I've already done in the past, so I decided against it and decided to actually go with Alexstrasza. And to be honest, Alexstrasza just makes the most sense. Her abilities aren't that slow, so she'll actually be able to deal some damage to your opponent, and she also acts as a third healer within the team, which you might actually need depending on how long a game individually goes. Overall, if you want to use Sinestra in a build and you haven't been able to find a good home for her, this is probably the perfect home for her, because you both can scale her shadow damage if you really feel like it, or you can make her into an absolute tank through her second equipment of Mana Brooch, which I honestly think will probably be the equipment going forward for her in any build she actually is included, though I could see Shard of Woe maybe being used depending on the scenario, and Hook Talons, if there's more bleed support in the future, could be also useful. But until then, honestly, Mana Brooch is just so powerful that I don't know if you'd ever want to move to either of the other two equipments. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, bye bye.